This week on the Pocket Party Podcast, you know who's back. Guess who?
Me, Morgan Freeman. That's right, baby.
So good to have you, Morgan.
Yeah, I can't wait to talk about all kinds of stuff.
Just kidding, it's Josh Robert Thompson.
Yeah, I'm a white guy.
Everybody listen to Darren Carter. I know that he's the party starter. So if you want to listen to a podcast for free, listen to our Pocket Party. Pocket Party.
Oh yeah, baby. So let's start that party in your ear holes.
This is Morgan Freeman, and you are listening to one of the most important podcasts ever made in the history of podcasting, the Pocket Party Podcast with my good friend, Darren Carter.
Everybody listen to Darren Carter. Yeah. We all know he's the party starter. So if you want to listen to a podcast for free, then listen to a Pocket Party. Pocket Party. Duran.
All right. This is Matthew McConaughey, and you are locked in to the Pocket Party Podcast. You feel that warm sensation in your pocket? That's a party. Here's my buddy Darren Carter. Yeah.
Well, hello there. If you're a first-time listener, I really appreciate you listening to this podcast, the Pocket Party Podcast. I'm your host, Darren Carter, the party starter. You may have seen me on Netflix, Showtimes. I have 4 comedy albums out. Shady Side. The next album is called That Ginger's Crazy. The next album is called Stay at Home Stripper. And my brand new one is called The Party Continues. And I have a great guest today. This guy is a voiceover actor and comic and actor. And the guy's amazing, man. It's really cool to have him on the show. And you heard the Morgan Freeman. Oh, my gosh. How great is that? I mean, I do a Snoop Dogg. But I mean, you know, it's still comical. It's like when I'm doing it, it's like, wow, yeah, what's cracking this? I mean, I got, you know what I mean? But he can freestyle and improvise and do that character. Like, man, next level. Shout out to Rems, Mike Bagak, Lee Meyerhofer, Caesar. Thank you so much, buddy. If you have not joined the Pocket Party Podcast Club on Facebook, we're out there. And that's a great place for us to kind of get together, gather around, and you know, talk about things that inspired us from the podcast or things we want to talk about. Pocket Party Podcast. If you want, and I would really appreciate it, it'll take you 5 seconds. Go to iTunes, leave a review on iTunes for the Pocket Party Podcast. That's what happens. Five stars, a quick review, literally would take you 5 seconds, and it'll help give this podcast more exposure. Big shout out. Listen, if you need boxing lessons, get the Darren Carter Friend Special from Manny. Just hit me up, ask me about it. It's in Northridge. You're good to go. My website is darrencarter.com. You'll see all the dates. I'm coming to North Carolina, Clovis, California, Reno, all kinds of good stuff. So I won't take your time up too much. I'm going to do a shout out real quick to Cesar Jesus Garcia, and also Wendy Lewis. Oh, I'll be at Sacramento Tommy T's in December, so check me out there. As usual, you can always see me on YouTube, darrencarter.com, and go to YouTube. Once again, let's get into it. Short intro, probably the shortest intro I've ever done, because I really want you guys to enjoy this podcast. As you're listening, do me a favor. 5 stars in the review. If you have someone that has an Apple phone, say, can I borrow your phone for a second? Go to the podcast app. Scroll all the way down, and you'll see the 5 stars. Put Darren Carter Pocket Party. Scroll all the way down. 5 stars. It'll say review. You put title, whatever you want to put. You know, I love this podcast. And then for the review, be like, it's great. Super simple, super short. All right. And as always, if you give a review, I will give you a shout out. Even in the review, you could put like, hey, I did a review. Give me a shout out. My Instagram is blah, blah, blah. My Twitter is blah, blah, blah. Whatever it is. All right, guys, let's get into it. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Pocket Party.
We're back. That's right, guys. Very special guest. I love this guy, man. I heard him on the radio. God, it must have been 10 years ago, maybe longer. And you would do these great voices. And I was like, who is? I didn't even know. And I was like, that's a real person. And you would, I mean, dude, it was amazing.
Well, I'm sorry that your guest couldn't be here. Darren, I appreciate you having me on the show.
Oh, man, what a treat to have you on here.
I know that you're excited to have this other fool, but he's apparently stuck in traffic. You know how it is.
Yeah, especially in L.A.
Yeah,
Oh my
at
gosh.
midnight.
Even at midnight.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So thank you for having me. I don't know much about you or what you do.
I'm a comic, and I box during the day at the gym. I'd love to have you narrate that sometime.
You do? I'd love to do that.
When I'm jumping rope and whatnot.
What's your name, Darren Carter?
Darren Carter, the party starter.
Darren Carter pummeled away at the bag. What do they call it, a bag? A sack?
Heavy bag.
Is
or
it a sack?
Double end bag.
A double end bag. Why do they call it a double end bag? Because two ends?
Yeah, there's what imitates the body and then the head. And then
I
there's
understand.
Okay.
But you ever seen anybody that looked like that? It's just it's just like a long string bag.
Yeah.
You never seen a person that looked like that for real?
I never have.
I don't think that's real. I don't think that's actually preparing you to kick someone's ass.
I know, and plus the bag doesn't hit back.
So there's Darren Carter pummeling away at the double end bag, thinking about his hopes and dreams. Once he was the rooster. I do remember. That's right. I remember you when you had hair.
I know, these feathers have been plucked.
They called you the rooster because it was shock red hair.
Yes.
And that was way back in the early days, young Darren Carter.
Yes.
Trying his best to tell those jokes night after night, going to multiple clubs. And during the day, pummeling away at that double sorted edged bag with the head and the body and the bullshit.
Sometimes a speed bag.
And sometimes a speed bag.
And not one thing I do impresses anybody. Maybe the jump rope if they're like the wife of one of the boxers. Maybe not even the wife.
I can't even. I'm trying to keep it together.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, guys. Sorry I was late. Hey,
Josh
sorry,
is here.
man.
Oh, good.
Oh, well, I guess I'll just go sit over here in the corner.
Bye, Mr. Freeman.
Bye. I'm just going to go sit over here. Academy Award-winning actor Morgan Freeman, and you're going to make me sit in the corner. Kiss my ass, Darren Carter. You suck at boxing, and you're not that great at comedy.
Oh.
Wow, that's rough. I'm sorry.
Wow,
Darren.
I just got roasted.
No, dude, you're great at comedy, and you're pretty good at jump rope.
Yeah.
I've
thank
seen
you.
your Instagram.
Yeah.
You're jumping rope a lot.
Man, I'm telling you, man. I got into it about 3 years ago. I said,
Okay.
you know what? I want to like really, I want to make myself better. I want to motivate other people.
Yeah.
And I got into a thing. I don't know. It might have been. There was just a time I just felt. I don't know if it was after one of the big
Cocaine or
no.
Oh, I
no,
got it.
no.
Sorry, I didn't know where you were going.
It might have been after one of these big like school shootings or just something crazy had happened, and I just felt like people were at a down point, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna do what I can do to make myself better and happy. What can I control? You know?
Yeah.
And so I would do it. I would put like I'd write 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 50 jumping jacks, and I would tweet it or I'd put it on Facebook, and I noticed like people would respond to that. They were like, dude, I feel like a fat piece of shit when you put that. Like it made me want to go out and do something. And I'm like, you know what? Thank you.
I'll say it a positive way.
Yeah. They seen it, but they'd either be like,
you made me feel like shit, Darren.
so
Darren lost a lot of followers that day.
Stop.
His manager said,
Stop, Darren. You got to stop posting these inspirational things. You're making people feel bad. Just do comedy. Stop with all the weight training. This isn't good for your morale.
No, that's good, man. I actually, it inspired me.
Thank you. You'd be so surprised. Like I know it is a little bit divisive, but it's not. It's not crazy. But there are people that scroll and they see that and they're like, screw him. But at the same time, but I get private messages from people. They're like, how can I start? What do I do? Or thank you for putting that out there. And also in the beginning, I got to be honest. And I still am not where I want to be or need to be.
Right.
Somebody was like, a couple of people were like, you should be like in better shape if you're going to post this kind of. And I'm like, no, screw that.
People are always saying.
I'm just like, I'm just going to do it. Who cares? I'm just going to do it. You know?
Why don't you wait until you have a six
pack
before you do that?
I know.
There's always that guy.
I know.
That's my guy, Derek.
Oh.
That's my inner voice guy. That's always like, hey, what are you doing? Oh, you made a show? Too bad no one's going to buy it. What are you doing jumping jacks for on Instagram? That's dumb. Take your top off at least or something like that.
I know. It's funny because I do see like, you put the mic a little bit closer.
I'm so sorry.
That's right. Oh, I like that. That's good.
I felt like I was blowing out the. Go ahead.
No, you're good.
Morgan, please go sit back there. This is very weird.
Some people are like in their. I had a guy hit me up. He was like, yeah, I got my volume cranked up as loud as it goes, and I can't hear. I know. 'Cause sometimes the guests like when they call in, I think.
Right.
Because
do you have people call in?
Yeah, I'm loud, but then
Oh.
but I got to figure out a better way to do it.
Yeah.
You know,
it takes a while, man.
Yeah.
When I was doing my show, I used to do my show,
Yeah.
my podcast live on Facebook with all these lights and the microphone and a mixer. So I'm running all that at
Yeah.
the same time while taking phone calls.
Wow.
I'm never going to do that again.
How did you do the phone calls with them?
Well, Darren, let me tell you, I use Skype. And what you do is you take a USB cable and you run it
Yes.
from your laptop into a mixer.
Okay.
Now, what you're going to do then is
Could I
you're
do that
going
here? Because I looked it up on YouTube
You
last
can.
time. I looked up on YouTube tutorial. You need to have this a 1/4 inch and an 1/8 or whatever the heck.
No, man.
I have that wire. I bought that wire,
Yeah.
but I don't know if it. I didn't think it was any better than the way that I'm doing it
If
now.
you had a little
Yeah.
tiny mixer,
Yeah.
that would be ideal because then you can run everything into it. Welcome back to Tech Talk. I'm Josh Robert Thompson. My guest is
I'm
Darren Carter. Hi,
and-
Darren.
Hi, we want to know how to take a phone call.
Well,
First,
Darren-
we need a listener.
Yeah, let's. Hello. Hey, guys. How's it going? Oh, we got a caller. Darren, on Tech Talk.
Yeah,
Yeah, go ahead, caller. Yeah, hey, guys. First of all, I want to say I love your show.
Oh, thank
That's
you.
very nice of
Hey,
you.
Rems, we got a caller. Can you hear this caller? Rems is the one that complained.
That's the guy that
He's the guy. I love Rems. He listens to every single show and gives updates.
is.
But
He
he's a helpful guy.
He's
but,
a helpful guy.
But at the same time,
He's not.
He likes to bust balls too. He's like,
unwell, or-
he's like, yeah, that one guy was so positive it made me suicidal. I was like, fuck.
It sounds like my fans.
Yeah, it's like,
Stop being so positive. It's weird.
where the fuck did you guys record that one? That sounded really lame. I was
Yeah.
like, oh my god,
We're in a
guys-
garage. We're in a dumpster.
Yeah,
Maybe we were.
I know.
Maybe we were. Anyway,
Yeah,
I'll
Rams.
tell you. I'll tell you off
Yeah.
the air
Yeah.
how to do that
Well,
because
what-
I don't want to
Yeah,
put people to sleep.
What I was going to say real quick though is I would hook up my phone to a Bluetooth speaker,
Yeah.
and then take that second mic and then
just-
put it right up to the
That's
Bluetooth
it.
speaker.
Yeah,
And I
that
th-
was the
I think
original
it-
technique.
Yeah, the original, right? It works.
Look, you don't need to. Look,
know.
I bought the most expensive mic, overkill for a podcast.
Yeah.
A Neumann TLM 49. You don't need that.
Write
These are
that down,
fine,
folks.
buddy.
Write that down.
The Neumann TLM 49, silky smooth. It's going to make your show sound better.
You know what I did today? This is hilarious. I made to make it sound like I'm working harder to impress my wife.
Yeah.
I started getting really technical with her, and then she's like, I go, yeah, this guy hit me up. He's like, how do I do a podcast? And I'm like, well, here's what you got to have. You need an H4n Zune Pro. You need some XLR cables. You got to get the Shure 58 microphones with
Yeah.
the windscreen. Make sure you get the windscreen. You want to get an SD card, but nothing over 4. You don't really need anything higher than 4 megabytes because you're
Right.
going to format it. And I could tell she was just like, you know what, Darren, you're not impressing me. Just
Has she ever said to you? Has she ever just said to you? Yeah, you know what, Darren? I really don't care about what you say.
she'll
to me."
straight up say that.
That is
yeah.
the worst thing.
I know.
When people, because I get the same way about
Yeah.
like movies, or I'm a real audiophile and a video file. So I'm like, I got one of the last plasma TVs ever made. It's the Panasonic VT50, and it's got those really true, rich black colors. They stopped making those about 5 years ago. And if you're gonna get a soundbar, Bowers and Wilkins, it's pretty pricey, but you're gonna get a pretty. No, people don't care. I don't care, Josh.
Unless they're into that too.
Unless they're
And
into it, then they get really excited.
they're like, oh my god.
Like
wow.
I'm a Halloween fanatic. Like Halloween is my Christmas. So every year I do a massive display in my front yard. But only one day. I can only do it one day because in my neighborhood, all that shit would be gone if I left it up all month. I had this kid walk by once and looked in my window, and I had Frankenstein's monster in the window, and I swear to God, he said to his friends, "Hey, there goes Shrek right there." So that's the neighborhood that I'm. I said, "Wait a minute.
There goes Shrek right there.
Hey, right there goes Shrek.
He's not so buff right now.
What's up, man?
What's up, Shrek?
Hey, Shrek, what's up?" Or another guy would walk by and be like, "You got some nice equipment, some nice lights. It looks pretty good, man. I'm just gonna circle back awkwardly every 5 minutes or so. And
Eat trick or treat, fucker.
just hey, what's up, bitch? What's up, fool? What's up, fuckers?" Anyway, I'm really into Halloween, so I was.
Don't you think LA is like the best place for Halloween?
I
as far
is
as
it? I
like,
don't know.
well, here's what I mean. Like Burbank, because I live in Burbank.
Yeah.
And I mean, like these people are in the Toluca Lake area.
Burbank,
like,
yes.
As far as like the behind the scenes, like the people that
Yeah.
probably like build sets, because like these yards are
Dude,
crazy.
you're talking about. You must live
I mean,
near Rick Baker.
probably
Rick Baker, one of the great
Yeah.
makeup effects guys of all time.
I mean, these yards
he goes
are
all out.
amazing.
Or Bob Burns. You remember Bob Burns?
Yeah.
He and his wife would have they would turn their whole house into a massive Halloween show.
Oh wow! There's
Right?
one that's in like they do that with Christmas, the whole yard. And there's like
Right.
apps now that you get an app and it said download your app and listen to music as you watch our front yard.
Yeah, you walk around and listen to all the Yuletide classics.
There's a lot of that Halloween stuff out here.
But the geeky talk is
Yeah.
the tech talk. I met a guy that was selling. He was selling camouflage netting. So he was selling just Halloween props, masks. But I was more interested in what he had hung up behind his display, which was camo netting. I said, excuse me, sir, are you interested in some of these masks probably? Or maybe a fake arm or a leg? No, sir. Would you like maybe a fake knife or some blood? No, I want that camo netting. Where did you get, whereabouts did you get the camo netting? This guy got so excited as no
Really?
one had ever asked him. Oh, are you interested? I could probably get you 300 yards for it. Now, they don't ship it until next week, but let me get your name and your email address. And, there's different types of camo. Oh, it was a joy.
got into it,
He
huh?
was excited.
Did you end up buying some camo net?
No, because I immediately went on Amazon and found it for like $300 less. So I was like, thanks a lot,
yeah.
buddy. Oh, I could still get you a good deal, though. It's from a very special place. They throw it right off the train. And it was like this guy was it's like a never-ending story bookstore. This was like some magical old man. But it's the same thing you're talking about. Once you
Yeah.
meet somebody that's interested in the same thing.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of those guys that are like, they'll talk your ear off, man. And even you or I will get, even I'm
Yeah.
like, I got to go.
Yeah.
I can't hear any more about camo
You-
netting.
And that's what's great about like YouTube or whatever. You could just like look it up for yourself, and then when you're done with it, you're like, okay, and I'm gonna go watch some Metallica videos or whatever. Like,
That is a little insight into the life of Darren Carter.
that's right. When he gets bored with camo netting, let's watch a Bruce Springsteen concert from '88.
Still with the camo netting? No, I'm watching Billy Joel now. It's Uptown Girl. And then he switches back over to the camo netting. Dude, you can learn everything on YouTube. Like, I rent this house in Silver Lake. I've been there for almost 7 years, and I fix everything there for the landlord. I love it. You could just do anything.
Oh, you fix it for the landlord.
Yeah, I mean, it's like
You're like, let me just try
I'm
it.
like, dude,
Yeah.
one of those outside air conditioning units,
Yeah,
those big, massive
yeah.
ones. I fixed it.
Oh wow.
It just needed what is it like called someone's going to correct me, capacitor or a condenser. I don't know what it's called. That's not what it is. I'll let them answer. But I fixed it. It was like $12.
Wow.
And I surprisingly didn't electrocute myself.
That's great. You know what's funny? We stripped. We were trying to unscrew something from one of my son's toys, and we stripped the screw. Because you turn the screwdriver
Yeah.
too much.
Oh,
and
I
I'm
see,
like,
yeah.
and so the next day my wife was like, "Let's see if you can try it, Darren." We tried to. And I go, we should go on YouTube and see what to do. And she's like, I already did. If you strip a screw, put some tape. They say if you put some tape in it,
in
that
it.
way it'll kind of grip.
That's
the tape will
it.
somehow grip it.
Boy, I wish I'd have known
Yeah.
that. I was putting in security lights in my backyard because the old ones had fried out. And whoever installed it 10 years prior had stripped both of the screws completely. So I took a drill and I actually drilled a hole through the top of the screws and then broke them in half.
Oh.
But this is like an hour long. I'm out there. Come on, you son of a bitch. My neighbors are like, what are you doing, man? There goes Shrek right there. Will you stop it? Anyway, but I almost electrocuted myself. You're learning a lot about me, and really we're helping people learn about how to do things at home, DIY.
DIY,
Yeah.
dude. My son's 11. He's on the internet today, and he's
This
watching.
kid's amazing, by the
He
way.
is. Oh, thank you.
This kid, I mean, I see your Instagram stories. What a performer this kid is.
Little Austin Carter. He listens to every episode, so he'll be hearing this in a few weeks.
Oh, well, I'll just be sure and clean it up then.
Hi, Austin.
Hey, Austin, how you doing, buddy? Sorry about all that other stuff. Josh has had a few too many to drink. But take it from your old Uncle Josh, pal. Life is good, and then one day it's just not. So you keep playing the piano in grocery stores or whatever your dad makes you do. And you'll be all right.
Costco.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, we took him to Costco, and he played the song by Camila Cabello.
Yeah.
Havana, Una.
Right. Does he do it often, though? Is it like a regular...
Oh, he plays every single day. He gets up in the morning, he plays, and he plays
But I mean
after
at
his homework.
Costco.
No.
Okay,
Never
'cause
at
I wanna-
Costco. Can you imagine? He's working more than I am.
Sir, can you please get out of here with your son?
We're gonna go to the Guitar Center now, asshole.
Guitar
Yeah,
Center.
he's played there too. Yeah.
Has he really?
Yeah.
Did,
Yeah.
did all the people that worked there just look at him very smugly and have nothing to say, or were they okay with it?
No, one guy came over and encouraged. He goes like, "Whoa," because he'll play like the Imperial March from
John Williams, yeah.
Yeah, he'll play some of that.
Wow, that's cool.
And then he'll go from that to dun 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 dun. Dun. So it's kind of like all the Star Wars nerds.
Wow,
Like,
he's doing like a medley.
Yeah, when he was like, oh man, oh no, he's trying to break a record now. There's like, I guess they're called meme songs.
Yeah.
Like, and I may be wrong about this, but it's something like, I guess it would be like, never gonna give you up. Like that's part of a meme.
Right,
or whatever.
right.
And then so like. He found all these different songs that are popular in that genre, like if they're on the internet.
Right, exactly.
And he's trying to play like a whole bunch of them in like 2 minutes. So
and then do a video of that.
I don't even know if he wants to do a video. Right now he's just like getting, trying to do it.
You got to get this kid on tour. This is
No,
big.
it's pretty cool.
Darren, you got a cash cow right here with this kid.
He said that. He goes, Mom, if I ever, how do you say it again? If I'm ever broke and hit hard times, it's cool to have a skill. I can go to downtown Burbank and play the instruments for money.
Oh my God!
I know.
Wait, he's already thinking ahead to when he has hard times. If I have hard times and I'm not able to sell my pilot and I'm 43 years old and I'm eating ramen noodles and the checks stop coming in, I'm just saying that's a hypothetical, Darren.
Yeah.
I'm saying
you
if
don't know
I
anyone
ever,
like that, do you?
No, I don't.
Let's get into that.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, Josh Robert Thompson
Hi.
is amazing. I like I said, I heard you on the radio 10, 11 years ago.
Conway and Steckler.
Conway and
Steckler, the great Tim Conway Jr. Hey, man.
Yeah,
and Doug Steckler.
And then you were on the Whitman and Conway and Whitman.
Right, Conway and Whitman.
Howard Stern, like all these great things.
Yeah.
And you even did Arnold, and it was fake Arnold.
Yeah.
And I think, didn't the LA Times think it was a real phone call or something like that? Or?
It was Joe Scarborough had a show on
okay.
MSNBC.
Yeah.
I called in saying I was going to blow up the moon.
Oh, wow.
Got to get rid of the moon. It's useless. Get rid of it. Nobody needs it anymore. We've got fire and electricity and torches. What's the matter with you? Blow it up.
So he was going to have some policy to blow up the moon.
When he was governor.
Yeah. But the thing I said that was so damning, and again, this was on Howard Stern.
I said, the moon regulates the menstrual cycle of the women. So if we get rid of the moon, no more PMS, no more bitching and whining. America will be safe again.
And so Joe Scarborough said, I know, you're coughing.
Yeah.
Are you ill?
Well, I had a cold last week from flying, and I'm like, it's getting over it. But
it's the worst.
Man, when you made me laugh right there, I was like, damn, that got me good.
Darren Carter I want you guys to know, he almost passed away during the show.
Yeah, I got lightheaded.
We're all on alert during this episode that you may pass away.
When you did your Arnold, like, it's not like your typical, comedian that will be like, get down, everybody, choppa. It's like, you do the voice where it's his speaking voice.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's been a while since I've done it, so it's a little rusty. But yes, that was the thing that sort of caught on in the beginning.
Was it one of
this
those
guy talks like him? Like I pranked Fox News. That was the big one.
No, I thought the LA Times, didn't they write something about it? Or
no, it was Fox and
Friends.
It was Fox and Friends. Okay. The Regular Guys was a show that was on here in LA.
Yeah.
Actually, they were out of Atlanta. And they put me on the air with Fox and Friends, pretended that they were Arnold's people, put me on the air. They bumped Ariana Huffington for Schwarzenegger, and it's me
talking about policies. Well, I'm going to be in New York and talking about,
are you going to run for governor?
Well, I don't want to talk about that. I don't know.
But they talked to me for about 5 minutes on the air until they sort of started to figure out that it wasn't really Arnold. And then that's what caught the attention of Gary Delabate over at Stern Show.
Stern,
And then I did that for years. I was on that show for years.
Wow.
Doing all the, with George Takei, the famous.
Hey now.
Yeah. Oh, my.
Oh, my. Ooh, my.
That voice actually became sort of the inspiration for the Jeff the Robot, what I would play later on the Late Late Show with Ferguson. Because he talked like this, and he was like Snagglepuss and George Takei. Oh. In your pants. It was one of his ridiculous phrases. But that's how it started, man, was, I moved out here from Cleveland like in 95.
No way.
Yeah. And then
That's funny. I came here in '95 also.
really? From where?
Yeah. Well, at that time, I grew up in Fresno.
Reseda?
I'm all. I know.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
I came from. I took the 101 east, man.
It was in Sherman Oaks.
Knew where it goes to the 134,
like another world,
the
so
exit
yeah.
pass. With the Bob's Big Boy, and I said,
Yeah.
I'm gonna move here.
And Milton Edie. Is that what's the
Milton Edie.
Milton
with their
Edie's-
inspirational,
Love it.
marquee billboards.
Isn't that the best?
I love those.
We're talking about Burbank, folks. For those of you that don't know what we're talking about,
beautiful downtown Burbank.
Yeah, there is a very nice establishment.
Yeah.
It's Milton Edie's. It's been there for years, and I used to take my suits there, the ones that I designed, the Johnny Carson suits with the padded elbows. You remember these?
I do.
Ed remembers this.
Yes.
Of course, yes. Have you been drinking, Ed? All right, that's fine. Maybe we'll get him a cot or something. Maybe
5 stars.
All right, maybe. Well, maybe someone needs to take a nappy poo. Anyway, you get off Pass Avenue, and there's Milton Edie.
But I'm all from California, though. Born and raised
Okay.
in Fresno.
Got
Lived
it.
in the Bay Area for a while. Lived in San Diego for like all the
Yeah.
briefly each town, and then I moved to LA and in '95.
Wow.
95, yeah.
my demarcation,
Yeah.
the way I know that is because when I got here, this movie called Toy Story had just come out.
Love it.
That's how long ago that was
Wow.
at the El Capitan.
Wow.
Toy Story, and I'm like, what's this? I had a goatee and a Jurassic Park T-shirt tucked into my jeans with my white sneakers. That's what I looked like when I got here, and I was ready to take on the world.
And did you grow up doing voices out there
Yeah.
in Cleveland?
Yeah, man.
And you were like,
Used to call into college radio a lot in high school as Johnny Carson. Like I was 15 doing Johnny Carson because he had just he retired in
like 93.
May of '92.
92.
Yeah, I
okay.
remember that because I loved that show.
Yeah.
We all loved that
Yeah.
show.
And so I'd call up as a bitter Johnny Carson. Well, I'm not doing anything. I just want to see what you guys are up to.
But I was 15, so it was like,
Hey, this is Johnny Carson. Hey, what are you doing?
but they loved it.
Yeah.
It was a show called Brain Rot Radio Theater, and it was a late night college talk show on Thursday nights. And I call in. I have all the tapes still. I recorded it, and it was so much fun, man.
Isn't that cool? I
Yeah.
called into the Dr. Demento show
Oh,
and
yeah.
did a Michael Jackson impression, and I got a T-shirt out of it.
Isn't that the best?
It was awesome.
See, now that's a magical era
Yeah.
that we can never replicate, and that's what I miss, because there was a group of us. We never met each other, but there was a group of us in the Cleveland area that called into that show every Thursday as different characters. There was a guy named Henry Horsepoop. There was the Paper Boy. There was Pigman. Hey, it's Pigman, and we would all
Yeah.
just go on party lines, and they'd put us out on the air.
Radios, man. I don't know what if I don't I don't know if it's doing. It's not what it was. You
No.
know? It's not at all. It's like
No,
maybe
it's-
there's some markets, maybe some stations, but I mean overall, I think
Yeah,
you
the
know,
one show I know,
yeah.
the Woody Show, which I was on. The Woody Show, I think, is on Alt 93 something. I don't know. It's a big show. They're doing really well. They're actually getting picked up in other markets
Here in LA?
Yeah,
Oh, cool.
I was really happy for them. I realized, like, really? I'm trying not to insult them. I was like, you guys are getting picked up in other markets? I didn't know there were any markets left. But I grew up listening to Prairie Home Companion. I used to go see that show live.
Wow.
It's a beautiful day in my hometown of Lake Wobegon, and just walking through the snow, and I can feel it. Of course, I forgot my shoes.
Hot
and so-
cross buns.
Hey, let's hear a little hot cross buns. We got Joe and the Banjo Boys. What are you going to play for us, fellas? It's always that kind of
Yeah.
beautiful
I
melancholy.
like that show.
Wasn't it great?
I would listen to. I haven't listened to it in a while, but I would. Is it still on?
Yeah,
or
it's
no?
they got a new
Yeah.
host now. Because I touched the small of a woman's back and I got fired because,
Oh my god.
of course, you can't do that sort of thing now. You have to be careful and wear gloves or a spacesuit. No, he retired. Actually, Garrison Keillor retired. And now there's a new guy, Chris. I want to say his name's Chris Tile. I got his name wrong. Their name is terrible, but
But I love that show. Like
it's a great show.
But that's the thing. See that now? Would I even listen to a show like that? I might, but it's like now. If I'm on a long drive, I'd listen
Yeah.
to a podcast.
Right.
You know, I might still listen to Sirius XM. I still do.
Yeah. You
But
listen to Howard?
I don't because I don't have it in my car. I don't,
Oh,
don't,
I see.
I don't know. Like my buddy has Sirius XM. I don't know if he.
You could do it on your phone. You could do the app, dude.
I know.
You should
I know.
download the shows and then take them
know.
wherever you go.
I know.
You know, the best show to listen to
Tell me.
is the Pocket Party Podcast.
That's right.
With
We're listening
Darren
to it
Carter.
right now.
This is the Pocket Party Podcast. I like to do the fake bumpers on my podcast. I would pre-record fake bumpers.
Oh! Tell us the name of your podcast.
The first version of it was the Josh and Around podcast, but I got really embarrassed when people would ask me what the show was called, and I would say,
Oh, it's called Joshing Around.
and then I always get this look like, okay. What are you, a 70-year-old vaudevillian? Yeah, you know, my name's Josh, and it's joshing around. What do you guys think? But it's improvise. You know, I do all the voices, and but I would have these bumpers that would or station IDs, show IDs that would make fun of me, but I'd be the announcer, so I'd say,
You're listening to a guy who still pays rent at 43 years of age. Here's Josh McMichaels.
and he'd always screw up my last name, and then I would say it's actually Josh Robert Thompson.
Nobody cares. Here's Josh. Here's Jason McManus.
No, it's Josh Robert Thompson. So I'd be having this conversation with myself, but I love that radio voice. I love, like my guy, I have a K-Log, which is my fake radio station that only plays Kenny Loggins. So that guy will be like,
we've got a complete block, a 4-hour block of Kenny Loggins coming up. We like to call it the Log Jam right here. Here's some Danger Zone. Here's Kenny.
and then always play Danger Zone. Always just hit it and go right into it. That's it.
Danger Zone. Traffic out there is pretty rough. You might say it's a danger zone. Here's Kenny.
Just any way to go into it. Love those guys. Like Rick Dees and all those guys, man.
I love it. Rick D. I ran into him at the airport once in Burbank.
Did you really?
Very nice guy.
Darren
Yeah.
Carter, name dropping.
Yeah, that's right. Burbank Airport.
Did you embrace him? Did you have a conversation
I
with
did.
him?
I talked to him for a little bit. He was really nice. I took a
So
photo.
thank you so much, Darren. You're such a great guy.
Shadow Stevens, good friend of mine.
Really?
You know Shadow Stevens?
I know his name. I know he used to do a ton of commercials in the 80s for
Yeah.
like Circuit City. Or...
Federated.
Yeah.
He was Fred Rated, and they were
Oh.
for Federated. But he was also the center square on Hollywood Squares
Wow.
when John Davidson.
What does his voice sound like?
He's very Shadow Stevens.
Oh.
It's Shadow.
Because he was the announcer on
Yeah.
The Late Late Show.
Oh,
He would
okay.
always say,
It's the Late Late Show, brought to you by Anison.
so we'd always make jokes with him that in the middle of a real conversation with him, he'd be talking to you.
Oh, Darren, I really enjoy doing radio, and this conversation is brought to you by Bisquick.
Like, you don't have to do that, Shadow. But he's such a nice guy. He's such an amazing guy. He's always working on something. He's one of the legends. He actually took over American Top 40 from Casey Kasem. Wow. He did it for a while.
I listened to that this last weekend. I was driving up to north of Fresno, up to a little town called Turlock.
Oh, Turlock.
Shout out to the Turlock people.
Yeah, you get some good crack up there. There's some good meth in Turlock, as far as I know.
My cousin lives there, and
Yeah.
I told the story on last week's podcast. But it's true though, man. I got to tell you real quick. I
Right.
get off the freeway and I'm like looking for Jimmy John's. Oh, here's one. And I call my cousin. I go, this actual Jimmy John's area looks pretty nice. I go, but when you get off the freeway, it looks a little. I go, how is this Turlock? And he goes, oh, that part of town's kind of sketchy. Yeah. So I go to my hotel, and he goes, oh man, you're at the too sketchy part of town, but the rest of the town's beautiful. And then there's another part of town is
Right.
sketchy.
Right.
And then finally we're driving towards the gig, and I see this big, beautiful building on the left. I go, oh, it looks like we're getting to the nice part of town. And then as we get closer, that building was the police station.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, man.
Turlock. You're going to love it here. You're never going to leave. Darren
we love you,
Carter
Turlock.
is,
Yes.
he is slowly dying on this program.
That is pretty nasty.
What was I going to tell you about Turlock, though? I was listening to Casey Kasem.
Right.
On the 70s channel. And
They're
it would-
doing all the reruns.
Yeah,
of
or
the-
it would be like, like that actual date. It would be
so good.
Yeah, it would be wild, right? It'd be like October 4th. It'd be like October 4th,
Yeah.
1971.
Coming in at number 2, it's Duran Duran. Here's Rio.
Yeah.
Like, he
Her
was
name
so
is-
incredible, this guy. I actually knew him. I actually got to spend a little bit of time with him.
That's cool.
He's such a lovely guy. He was always so excited to hear about what I was working on because by that point he had become rather frail. So, but on the days when he was coherent, he would like to hear my stories about working in the studios.
Josh, what did you do today?
And I was like, well, I did the voice of, some character on Family Guy and
That's great. I miss being in the studio.
Yeah, Scooby Doo, right?
Scooby. Yeah, he was
Or
Shaggy.
Shaggy.
Like,
yeah.
whoa, Scoob.
And he was Robin on the Batman and Robin animated series.
What were some?
I think it sounded pretty much like Shaggy. I mean, no, but he actually told me. I don't know if this is true or if I'm remembering this correctly. But Casey Kasem told me that one of his first radio jobs was doing, as a very little kid, was doing a voice on the Lone Ranger radio series.
Wow.
It's like, wow, dude, you've been like this guy. This is another one of the great legends of radio broadcasting.
You ever met Larry King? Or
I did on the Late Late Show. Have you met Larry?
no?
He's amazing. This guy's still going.
Still going.
This
right?
guy,
even though he's off CNN or whatever. He
Yeah,
was on,
he's
now
on-
I'll still see him pop up on something
what
else.
is it? Aura TV or something. Remember for a while they were just making up radios. There was Seesaw or Seesaw,
Seesaw.
Aura.
Yeah.
We'll be right back after this on Aura TV, and then it's like, all right, now we're on Hulu. It doesn't matter. What is he like? Got to be 90 almost.
You know what? That's the thing. You got to find what you love and just do it. You know, and sometimes that can be frustrating because what you want to
Yeah.
do, you got to answer to someone, and they won't let you do what you want to do. And that's what
Yeah.
sucks about show business at times.
It can be hard,
You know?
man.
I mean, you've had a nice run, but then I was saying off air. I remember I had this great experience when I was in Canada. I follow you, and I saw that you were like, "Hey, I just posted this podcast," and it was great because all you gotta do is hit play, like boom, it was right
Yeah.
there, and like that was right when I think things started to change, where you didn't have to do like 15 steps to listen to a podcast.
Right.
I was like, I was like, oh, it's right there.
That was
Boom.
it.
And it just came through my Bluetooth speaker, filled up the whole hotel room.
It's pretty great,
and it was
man.
great. And you were telling some awesome, funny stories like you always do, and
I'm trying to take that.
You know,
That's good to hear. That's good to
yeah.
hear because I'm sort of came on this show because it's
tell
so
me what-
positive,
yeah,
right? You're
yeah.
so truly though. I found your Instagram to be inspirational. I knew you from. I would go see you do stand up at I think it was Jay Davis's.
That's right. That's right. You used to dye your hair, I think, right?
I did.
Like dark black.
I
or
was like
something?
goth as
Yeah.
hell.
Yeah, I was
I had like emo hair.
and I was like, that's the guy that does the voices, like this goth
like
kid.
this guy. I don't know what I was doing. And it was like in my mid 30s I was going through some like everyone's like, "What are you, 18?" No, I'm just doing what I want, Mom. Shut up. Yeah, man, I was wearing creepers. I was like a closet goth, dude. I was going to
Yeah.
goth clubs and I don't know what I was doing.
That'd be funny to see just this goth kid, and then like, but doing these.
Yeah.
I'm a goth kid.
It's me, Johnny Carson. But
do
then he's got
voices.
a red tie and he's tight my stretchy pants. What's this guy doing? But I yeah, but you know, but I finally sort of, you know, you get to know people
Yeah.
sort of
Yeah.
when you watch their. That's the weird thing about social
Yeah.
media is you got to be careful what you put out there. But my thing is, I did the Late Late Show for 8 years.
And you said you'd watch me do comedy, and then you started
watched
watching
you
my
do-
Instagram, being positive. Or
yeah,
something,
well, I'm
or-
saying,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. I did the Late Late Show for 8 years, and then the last year was pretty good, but the 2 years before that were really rough for me. You know, I just you were just talking about showbiz and how it can be rough.
Yeah.
I just didn't know how to handle when a show ends. Everyone loses a job. It's nothing special, but I just didn't. I really thought like the Late Late Show was going to be the springboard or the launching pad for me. And then when it didn't happen, I got
So,
really
like
upset.
So like the show ended, and you're like,
Hey, so everyone must know that I'm the robot.
and I'm available.
And they're like, we had no idea you were the robot, you know. But I made a pilot before the show ended. I took some of my money,
Yeah.
all of my money, and made a really amazing TV pilot with a group of incredibly talented people. And I'm so proud of that show. And we're still kind of shopping it around, but I just got really depressed. You know, I got depressed and I was drinking a little bit. But the thing the mistake was, I went live doing these live broadcasts. Now, part of that actually built an audience because there were a lot of people that identified with the depression. And in a weird way, they loved that I was being candid about these things. So it actually was good because I still get messages from people saying, you know, you've helped me. You get the same thing.
Yeah,
People say,
I love it.
you motivated me or your comedy's helped me
Yeah.
through tough times.
Rems is doing push-ups now.
Yeah. Hey, Darren, I was wondering if you could send me your shorts when you're done with them. Excuse me? No, but it was deeply
Yeah.
moving to me. Actually, Chris D'Elia just talked about this on his show, his podcast, and he got really emotional about it because I didn't really think that my kind of comedy would change people's lives. But what I'm saying is you just don't know who's listening out there and how you are affecting their lives. So I had to really turn myself around because I didn't want to do this negative thing anymore. A lot of my stuff was negative and combative. It's a bad look, you know. And it was all new to me. When you're putting stuff out into the world like that, all this social media stuff,
Yeah.
it's all new. But you got to really be careful about how you present yourself, you know. So I'm right now, the last year, I've been doing the self-improvement thing.
So so what happened? You took like some time off.
Took some time off. I said I don't want to be this guy anymore. I need to sort of just recharge, you know, because I think a lot of us are in a hurry to get the views and the likes and go viral and nonstop promoting, and it gets, you know, it's like, okay, but what am I really doing here?
Yeah.
What is it I want to do? And I like telling stories. That podcast, I like telling stories, and people like the stories. So now I'm ready to take those onto the stage. It's like, dude, because the audience is in it, like this show. It's in the pocket. It's in the palm of your hand.
Yep.
But it's not the same as being in front of a live audience, because there you can see them and gauge their reaction and feel their energy. Whereas online, you forget there are people watching, so you just start saying all kinds of shit, and then you go, I probably shouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of one of the other reasons I came on here was just I felt like, you know, maybe it's time to start dipping my foot back into the water a little bit, because I really miss it. I love being on stage. I love doing that. You know, you've been doing it for
great.
years.
I remember I saw you perform it at, I think in this room, actually.
Yeah, right.
Was it this room?
Yeah, just dicking around.
We're at Flappers right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flappers in Burbank.
Yeah.
And beautiful Burbank.
It
You
was
get off the 5. There's an Olive Avenue, I think.
Yeah.
You turn left, and you can park at the Ashley Furniture if it's after hours. Then you walk.
Yeah.
People always tell me that. Okay, you're gonna do a show. Okay, you're gonna do a set. All right, just park at Ashley Furniture. And I'm like, what?
Yeah. You
is
park
kind
at
of-
Sears and walk down.
Yeah, what kind of racket is this? Park at Sears, they're closed. It's an abandoned building. Nobody cares. Yeah, I was here, man. And, you know, the last show I did was at the Improv, Hollywood Improv. And that was the first time I felt free to just talk. I had this new method of just go on stage and talk about one thing, because that's usually what I would do in these live broadcasts. Just talk about one topic and exhaust it. 5 minutes or 10, whatever you got.
That's
5 minutes.
interesting, yeah.
And then come back and do it again.
What would be a topic? I wonder if I could even do that.
I would
Maybe I'll
talk
try it
about
sometime.
working at Blockbuster Video.
Oh, did you work there at one
Yeah.
time? There you go.
People would love those stories.
Yeah.
You know, just like the one night I got so angry. I was a manager at Blockbuster Video.
So you know a lot about movies then.
Oh yeah,
Because
I'm a movie freak.
Because that's the thing. I told you last. I came out of a podcast. I was a
Right.
guest on Punch Drunk Sports over at All Things Comedy.
Oh, man.
And it's a 2-hour podcast, and I was thinking like, all right, as soon as we're done, I'm gonna go get something to eat. And it's the minute the thing ended and the door opened, the next podcast is walking in. They're like, Darren, our guest hasn't showed up. We talk about movies. We're called comedy film nerds.
This is like out of a movie.
Yeah.
This is like a Mel Brooks movie.
And they're like, what do you know? I go, I don't know that much about movies. They're like, that's okay.
Yeah, of course.
And I'm like, oh shit. And they're like, what
Don't
movies?
worry, bro.
Yeah. They're like, what movies have you seen? And I literally was almost like I couldn't even think of one. I was like, I saw Captain Underpants with my son.
What?
I saw
Captain EO back in 86.
Disneyland.
Yeah.
I saw
Did you say you messaged or called your wife?
yeah.
and
I texted my wife. I go, Jeannie, quick. What movies have I seen?
She sends you a cheat sheet.
Yeah, a cheat sheet. And then they were, but they actually liked it because we ended up talking about because I actually liked the new Die Hard, or not the new Die Hard, the new
No, please, we don't talk about it.
No, the new Death Wish with
with Bruce Willis.
Yes, that's the
Yeah.
one I saw, because I remember the originals, but at the same time I kind of wanted to like go to a theater, eat some popcorn with a buddy, and like just watch him, kill bad guys.
People get so worked up about movies now.
Yeah.
Like, look, I saw The Mummy with Tom Cruise. Everybody was, it's terrible. My ritual is every Sunday I go to a matinee. I get a hot dog. It's a lot of nitrates. You got to be careful. And I get a beer. I get one beer and a hot dog, and I sit there and I watch a movie, and I'm watching this Mummy. And I thought, this is like a movie that was made in the 80s. There was a company back in the 80s called Cannon Films, and they made shit. They made like Masters of the Universe with Dolph Lundgren.
Oh, okay.
Anytime you saw the Cannon logo, you knew that you were in for a disaster, but it was going to be really entertaining. But this felt like a movie from the 80s that had been unearthed. And it was so entertaining. It wasn't the greatest film, but I thought, this is what it's about. I mean, you went and saw Death Wish with Bruce Willis, the remake, and you enjoyed it.
Yeah, I told
It was entertaining.
my buddy goes, I need to do. He goes, I want to see a movie or something. And I go, I'm doing a comedy set, the Laugh Factory. Afterwards, we'll go to the Glendale Americana.
Yeah.
And dude, it's great there. And
Love it.
And I'm like, we know what we're walking into.
There's never anybody there, by the way, folks. If
I
you're,
know,
If you go to this
exactly.
movie theater, it's like,
Yeah.
how many tickets? 2. Okay, what movie? I'm gonna go see The Predator. Okay, 1:30 Predator. They are not clean out yet, so you wait. You want cilantro on your popcorn? What?
Yeah.
Dude, there's
Yeah,
nobody
I
there.
know.
Yeah, go to whatever movie you want. You know what? Just go see whatever.
Well, I love. Here's what I like. I like a good movie, of course.
Yeah.
Like I like a movie where I'm like, wow. Like I really enjoyed. You know what I really enjoyed was Daddy's Home 2. Did you see
Dude,
that one?
I
Is that
gotta
what it's
tell
called?
you,
Daddy's Home 2.
With Mel Gibson.
Yes.
This is so
Yes.
funny, this movie.
Yes.
That is so funny.
I loved it. I saw
Crazy,
it twice.
this movie.
I loved it. I like Daddy's Home and I like Daddy's Home 2.
You know, Mark
Daddy's
Wahlberg.
Home 2 is really funny.
But honestly,
Yeah.
man, Mark Wahlberg
So
and
good.
Will Ferrell
Yes.
together.
Yes.
They did a movie called The Other Guys.
Okay.
Did you ever see that
I
one?
gotta watch that one.
Brilliant.
I haven't seen that one.
They're great
Okay.
together. I mean, they should just, Will Ferrell and
Okay.
John C. Reilly are great together. They did Step Brothers.
Yeah, yeah.
Now they got the Holmes and Watson coming out. The
Okay.
Sherlock Holmes movie looks very funny. Actually, the trailer looks pretty bad, but I'll still go see it. Think about that. Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
I actually want to, because
So funny.
we all go through
Yeah.
this, by the way. I'm talking about it on a very smaller scale about my career and how sometimes things don't work out and you got to just come up with a new plan of attack. Here's Will Ferrell, and Jim Carrey went through the same thing. Will Ferrell has had a string of box office bombs, and he's kind of. It's weird because 10 years ago, this guy was on top of the world,
So good.
and
Elf.
it's
How
weird
good
to
is
see
Elf?
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I just saw that movie he made called The House, where the mother and father open up a casino to try to raise money to send their daughter to college. And I kept avoiding it. I'm like, oh, I don't want to see it. It is so outrageous. It's so dark. I loved it. I loved it, man.
Have you seen what's exciting to see now? I'm thinking White Boy Rick.
Yeah, with Matthew McConaughey, man. I mean,
Yeah.
that movie White Boy Rick. It's a great movie, man. I mean, I haven't seen it. I mean, I did the movie, but I haven't seen the final cut. But I hear it's good.
Was it fun filming it?
It was great. I had a mustache, I think, in that movie, and a leather jacket, and it cracked a lot. So we had to do a lot of ADR. That's where you go in and replace dialogue because of all the cracking of the leather.
Oh, interesting.
But it's I think it's a great movie. I don't know.
You were just in it.
I'm in it. I was there, but I don't know if it's good. But I think you should see it. If it's out, I think it's out. Is it?
Yes, because I heard somebody say that it was out and they liked it.
No, I'm on the Screen Actors Guild. Am I allowed to say that?
Yeah.
The voting committee?
Oh, I think I am too.
Are you?
Yeah, I get those little.
Don't screw it up, bro.
I know. Don't screw it up, huh? I get those DVDs.
I saw Black Klansman, Spike Lee's movie. Wow. That was amazing.
Was it good?
Yeah. Spike Lee, one of my favorite films ever made. Top 5. My top 5. Number 5 would have to be Spike Lee's Do the Right Thing. Powerful movie. And what's crazy about that movie is that was 1989. And that was really about all these different races in the hottest summer in 1989 in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn.
Stay black.
Right?
Is that the phrase? Stay black.
Yeah. That's one of the guys that says
Yeah.
stay black. And then Joe... God, there's all these. I'm drawing a blank here, but Danny Aiello.
I don't think I've never seen the whole movie. I just
Great
cut
film.
little pieces. But I know, like, I think Joey Diaz always says "Stay black," and I think that's from that movie. And then there's a Buddy McGirt, one of the trainers at the 2-time world champion at the
Right.
boxing gym. He always tells people to stay black, no matter who they
That's
are.
his thing, no matter what.
Me, I'll walk in, stay black.
Stay black.
Okay.
That's good, though. I think that's
Yeah.
a good thing to do,
Yeah.
especially now. I think
Yeah.
you should do that
I just stay black.
because we're straight white men.
Yeah, you gotta. Yeah.
It's over, dude.
If someone
You
says
gotta-
stay black, you just agree.
You
and
go,
for
yes,
it.
I will. Whatever
I
you
will.
say.
Thank you.
Hey man, hey, stay black. First of all, Darren Carter, how you doing, man?
I'm very good,
I'm
very
Darnell
good.
Jenkins. And
Hi,
you know,
Darnell.
I love your stuff, man. You get up there and do the party starter stuff, You're always
Yeah.
doing it. You know what I mean?
Trying to,
You
man.
get it, man. You know the groove,
Trying to
man.
start that party.
You got to stay black. You black. You black.
I know it's a podcast. I'm still bringing out the flashlight.
You still doing that, man? Is that the same Let me ask you, is that the same flashlight you had all them years ago?
Yes. No, this might have been a replacement.
You change the batteries on it?
Yeah, I do.
How often you got to change the batteries on that flashlight when you do that?
About
man?
once every 4 months.
Yeah, man. I love when you do that. I like my.
I like my women like
something-
I like my. I like my women like I like my shoes, no strings attached.
Yeah, see, you pull that out the air, man. You have some prep though in the chamber, right?
Yeah, like give me one. I like my women like I like my
Tacos.
tacos. Ooh, full of my chorizo.
See, then your Latinos in the audience, they go, oh, like that, and then
I like my women like I like my.
sandalwood.
I like my women like I like my sandalwood. Ooh, smooth and smelling good.
See, that's what I'm talking about, man.
I don't even know what sandalwood is.
No,
What
but
is
you
it?
did it.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I love Darnell, man.
That's a good voice. Man.
Well, do all these characters,
I used to write down all my voices
Yeah.
when I was like 19, and it was really cool. Do you do that still? Do you write down all your voices that you can do? So
I
you
have,
can
I
draw
have,
on them?
I have. What I do
Or no, I don't
used
know
to
what you
do.
do, yeah.
So I used to record.
Yeah.
Sometimes I ask if I heard an interesting voice in public, like I was at a restaurant or something, and I heard someone. I would say,
Yeah.
I'm a voice. It was really weird. I'm a voice actor. Do you mind if say a few things into my recorder, and then I'd have it on file, like
That's cool.
weird old man voice.
And they would be cool with
They'd
that.
be like, yeah, I guess I can. I don't know. Who
and what
the hell
about this?
are
You know how like everyone's PC now and
That's
stuff?
what. Thank you. This
I
is
was gonna
exactly
ask
what I'm
you,
talking about.
What's going on now with this?
Well, Hank
Yeah.
Azaria, who is
Yes.
on The
Apu.
Simpsons,
Yeah.
last year or earlier this year, he was on. I don't know what show he was on. Was it anyway? One of the shows, and he was talking about how he would step down as the voice of Apu.
Has he or no?
I don't know if he has, and
Yeah.
I realize that I'm a straight white man and I'm not supposed to talk about this, but I got scared because I thought, well, I do Darnell,
Yeah.
and that's a real guy that I knew growing up in Cleveland. I would take the bus downtown to Cleveland State.
I like how you had. There's like a kind of a whistle that you when you.
Yeah, there's a whole, hey, man, I remember he was in a bus stop.
Yeah.
So I walk into this bus stop.
That's right there. Yeah. That's
right,
good. Yeah.
dead of winter, and this guy walks in
Yeah.
with like yellow jaundiced eyes and like
Mm.
he's missing a tooth, and he leans up. It's like one of those glass enclosures, a bus
Yeah,
stop.
yeah.
It's like 20 below zero. February, dead of winter, Cleveland, misery. I'm waiting for the bus. I'm just freezing to death. This guy starts banging one of his feet against the side of this bus stop, and he says to me,
How's it feel to be in the last days of living?
and I said, what does that mean? That's what I sounded like
Yeah,
back in like
yeah,
94. And he says,
What you want it to mean?
and that was how I met Darnell Jenkins.
And you were like,
If you could just hold off on this for like a week, because I got finals.
I don't give a shit what you got, motherfucker.
And then I got to know this guy a little bit. He wasn't a friend of mine, but it was just this weird guy that would come in there. But then
was he threatening or just talking?
I think he was just maybe I don't even think he knew that I was there. I don't
Yeah,
think
yeah,
he
yeah,
really was living in this plane.
Did he
of
recognize your
existence.
voice from calling in doing Johnny Carson at that age?
Hey, man, did you call in to Cleveland State Radio as Johnny Carson? I knew you. You all right, man.
That is why.
Yeah, that's the one.
This is the final days of living.
Darren Carter, how you get in here? Man, he's funny as shit.
So, but I do this Darnell, and then so for my TV pilot that I made, Darnell, I was like, well, I can't do blackface. I can't do like Robert Downey Jr. makeup. So he's a puppet. He's like an alien puppet. He's a Boglin, if you remember these puppets from the 80s. Boglins were these cool puppets. Their eyes moved. So I have one, and I'm like, let's just make Darnell this guy. And it looks just like a Darnell. He's just like,
Hey, I'm a crafty little alien, man.
and he always wants to have sex. But it's just funny because he's a little tiny guy.
Yeah.
So then I have Snorky Lopez, who's the Mexican raccoon. What's up, fuckers? It's me, Snorky. Hey, what's going on, everybody? People love Snorky. And then I have Dr. Singer Dick. Hello, I am Dr. Singer Dick. And right now we are on the podcast, and I want to walk Darren through a meditation. I know that you are very sick, right? Because you were flying recently.
Yes, getting over a cold.
Well, when we get a cold, what happens is, and I'll tell you, is the body, you're opening yourself up because you are on a plane. You are opening yourself up to all of these different diseases because you are stressed. When you are on the plane, remember, you are 30, 40, I don't know how high, but you are floating in the air. Allow that sensation to begin
from your toes and go up into your scrotum and hold it there in your scrotum for 30, 40 minutes. You'll feel better. You feel it now?
I do.
Of course you do. And now I have just taken you through one of the first relaxation exercises. So Dr. Singe Dick is a puppet.
Yeah.
But then I started thinking, am I allowed to do this?
When you would take it, did anybody ever give you pushback? Like, oh,
Never.
That's good. They
And
weren't
you know
like,
what?
No, I mean, like the executives or people trying to buy the show. They weren't like,
No, the one
Who's
thing
doing
we-
these voices?
The one thing we
Like,
had to
yeah,
do, we absolutely had to do.
Yeah.
And my friend Robert Thompson, no relation, and he's starting to do stand up around. He's a very funny kid. He wanted to do, and it was all improvised. The show was all improvised. So one day, I said, I'm going to bring all my friends to this theater, and you're going to each have 5 minutes to do whatever you want. It's a variety show called Ogre with Gary the Ogre. He's this flamboyant Eurotrash ogre. Hey guys, it's Gary the Ogre. He's wearing like a vest and no shirt. It's a really ridiculous show. Anyway, so Robert says, I'm going to do this old vaudevillian that doesn't know it's the modern age. But I'm going to do a couple different things on stage, but I'm not going to tell you what they are. Well, he comes out. He's got his back to the camera. Action. He turns around. He's in full blackface. And he's doing Mammy, you know. He's doing Al Jolson. Well, I was like, okay. It was very funny and weird. But I said, all right, let's have a cutaway to one of our puppets reacting. We gotta have people reacting in horror to this, just so we want the audience to know we're not on board with this. Well, I ended up cutting it out because it was like, is it funny? No, let's get rid of it. I figured that one we can get rid of. But the other characters stayed in, and nobody ever had a problem with it. In fact, when I performed at the store,
comedy store.
Comedy store.
Yeah.
We like to call the store.
Ralph's.
When I was over at,
My
it was
local-
Albertsons.
Yeah.
They had pretty good deals over there. Have you seen the people that go into Albertsons? It's not good.
The Piggly Wiggly.
That's where I was. Josh will be performing at the Piggly Wiggly Thursday at 7.
What's that grocery store chain that's out there in like the southeast, like Florida and all that? They're everywhere out there.
I thought it was Piggly Wiggly, no?
No, there's another one. I forget the name of it. Whatever. Yeah.
But I usually do a lot of improv too on stage. I know that's like frowned upon I don't know what the attitude is with the comics, but they're like, yeah, this isn't a set. Guy just went up there and made shit up. But I kind of like when you're forming an act, I feel like, well, I have an idea, but how am I gonna? I have to throw it out there. But I started doing my Darnell, and there was like a lot of black folks there. They loved it.
Absolutely.
I said that was really funny, man. They said you did grow up in Cleveland. One guy was like, I know you did, man. I know you did. And I was like, okay, because I'm like, but I think most people are okay with
we
it.
were talking about that backstage tonight at the Laugh Factory.
Yeah.
And one of the comics was saying how usually it's other people being offended on behalf of the people that aren't even there. You know what I mean? Like,
and it depends on what you're saying.
Yeah. But it would be like, he's a Jewish comic, and he was like saying like, somebody, white might be like, that's offensive for the people, that are the Native Americans.
On behalf of.
Yeah, that
right.
kind of thing, as opposed to like,
They're like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I get, and so I feel like, and we talked about this before the show, is it just kind of, just do your thing, like, it's so easy on social media. There's a lot of noise and people telling you.
Yeah, and as a comic, like you said, you got to be, just be funny. I think
That's it.
The thing is to be funny and if you get too wrapped up into like being afraid to like, what am I going to say? Oh my God. Like, yeah, you got to look at it from a comic's perspective, not like,
right.
Like you're not trying to run for office.
Well, that's what tripped me up, I think. I for some reason about a year ago, and I think I let all of the social media criticism get to me, and I got really afraid and insecure as a performer. So I stopped. But now I'm like, no.
Yeah.
You got to, it's going to be messy. Like you're never going to get up there. Nobody goes up on stage right away with these ideas and it's perfect every time. You're always working on it. You're always working on it.
Yeah, it's I was just going to say that one more thing to that point.
Yeah.
I have a friend, he went on a date in New York City with this 24-year-old girl he said she's like
all right.
Yeah, she's like this 24-year-old Chinese girl that's like really like, I think like wealthy, like her father's paying for apartment and blah blah blah.
Right.
But she's really like what's happening now with like the PC culture, and she told him like later on, after they had a couple drinks, she's like, okay, that thing you're doing when you're like talking like other people, like, yeah, that's not really like, don't do that. Okay, that's like,
Oh, no.
because he was saying how he's like white, and he went to like Japan and Korea and Malaysia, and he was telling her about his experiences, and he was talking like the people when he would like tell the story.
I see.
And so she was like, yeah, don't do, unless you're doing a white person's voice, don't do voices of other. And he's like, but I'm just telling you how the guy talked when they were like,
Right.
Whatever. So it was like, I was like, oh my God. Like, so just know that there are some people, little small
There
part of the
are.
audience that might be in the audience that are like,
But you can't.
when I do, I like my women like I like my, I actually had like some, I was in Pasadena, I think, and this woman yelled out, I like my women like I like my, people yell out
Yeah.
suggestions, and she goes, misogyny. I'm like, not able to take a fucking joke.
All right, everybody. Hey, that was Darren Carter. Thanks, Darren. Boy, so sorry about that, guys. Thanks for coming out to the Ice House Annex.
Yeah, exactly.
What do they call in that room?
Now it's called Stage 2.
Oh, is that right? That's a better name,
It
dude.
used to be called Ice House Annex.
Dude, Annex sounded like, you were held back a couple of years in school.
Yeah, I know.
Josh is in the Annex. What are you working on, dummy? Shut up.
All these rooms have that, like flappers. This is the Yoo-Hoo room.
Yeah, what's the...
The
now
improv.
it's the lab.
The improv. It's the lab.
That was always the lab, though,
No,
wasn't it?
what was it called before? I don't even remember.
But it was... I liked the lab before when it was tattered and...
Yeah.
That was like...
Yeah.
Bob, who's the guy that used to do... He used to do... you'd go and just tell stories. He hosted... He's a comedian. I can't remember his last name. But
Bob Newhart. No, I'm
It
just
was
kidding.
Bob Newhart. That's who it was. Josh, how you doing? Bob Newhart. Anyway, I like that kind of place.
You're so talented. If I threw some people, do you think you could make an attempt at doing their voice? And I won't go crazy because
I
you know
could
me. I don't
try.
know. I don't know references.
Yeah,
so I'm not
yeah.
gonna. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna try to trick you.
And folks, I apologize in advance.
All right. Let's see. Because sometimes I'll be telling a story.
Yeah.
And somebody's like, "You do such a good," and I'm like, "Dude, I don't really do that." But just in the moment, I'm telling the story, and it sounds like the person. But if someone were to say George Carlin, and would you?
I don't know, I've never done George Carlin, but my first impressions of George were he would be like, "You have to go where the people are." It's like there was a rhythm to the way he would talk.
That'd be funny if like you handed me a piece of paper. If you handed me a piece of paper with like 9 voices. Let me see. I'm just gonna throw out some names.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
Here
they're
you
like,
go, Darren. Say these.
I got these off your.
No,
website.
that actually brings up a good point though about, and you were talking about,
Yeah.
that girl on the date saying don't do
Yeah.
that. But
I'm just gonna give you white people.
yeah, could you
white
please?
men.
Yeah, but there is no, but there's I didn't get the voice perfectly, but
Right.
but what I did get was the musicality of it. Everything with these voices has a musicality to it. Now I grew up in Cleveland until I was 11. I lived in predominantly black neighborhoods.
Yeah.
I went to a mostly black school, inner city school, and.
You're homeschooled. No.
That's right, man. Hey, man. I know, man. I heard. What's up, Josh? What's up, man?
Hey, where you stay?
Hey, man. Oh,
Damn,
shit,
sorry.
man. Homeboy is sick, man.
I
Damn.
know.
No, man, I remember in
Yeah.
1984, we were right in the pocket of the breakdancing
Oh, I
period,
loved
man.
it. That era
People
was
with
so
the
good.
Boombox and
Yeah,
you
me
throw it on a
too.
piece of cardboard and
Yeah.
Yo, check this out, man. Look at this white boy, man.
What was your favorite rap song back then? Do you remember?
I had an album called I still have it on vinyl called Laugh Attack, Rapping and Grooving, and
Cool.
it had remember the guy that would sound like the Duke. He would the rapping Duke. Yeah. It was the best. Well, I'll tell you, Pilgrim. And then it was Slick Rick. Slick Rick was the one. Lottie
I
Dottie.
actually looked that guy up recently, the John Wayne rapper
Yeah.
guy. I think he does corporate gigs.
Really?
And does that character.
He's still out there.
I think so. Who
That makes
knows?
me happy, man.
Yeah.
But Lottie Dottie.
Like a dead fly. Duh.
It's a tough man.
Duh. Yeah, remember that?
Ah, dude, that was the one, man.
Rappin' Duke.
The Rappin' Duke, Lottie Dottie, Slick Rick.
Lottie Dottie, we like to party.
Right.
We don't bother nobody.
Yeah.
Those are, I mean, that was
Fat
like
Boys, like
Fat
Fat
Boys.
Boys.
Absolutely.
The Fat Boys. Stick 'em.
That was like
Oh.
old school, right in the
Yeah.
beginning of that.
Cool Mo D.
Cool
and all
Mo D,
that,
yeah.
and-
Cool Mo D was like,
How about The Message? I love The Message.
What's that, man?
That was
The Message.
Was it the Furious Five? Grandmaster Flash.
Grandmaster
Furious
Flash,
Five?
yeah, man. Now, I remember. Now later on, I remember.
Jam on it.
Jam
Jam
on-
on
that's
it.
the one.
Jam to jam to jam.
Zamboni or Zamboni, like the thing on the ice. You ever heard of
Zamboni.
Zamboni? Zamboni. You think a guy on a Zamboni secretly sings it that way to himself? Zamboni.
Honey, stop. It's not Zamboni.
Yes, it is, Margaret.
Jam on it.
Yeah. Remember? But then later on was Rico Suave Gerardo.
Oh, yeah.
That's when things.
Rico.
Yeah.
Suave.
Delight, Groove is in the heart.
Groove is in the
Right.
heart.
I'm too sexy. Right, said Fred.
Oh, yeah.
It started getting.
I'm too sexy for my
Yeah, and then we were all like, okay, maybe we need to pack it
So
up.
sexy it hurts.
It hurts. I'm a model, if you know what I mean.
Run. Oh, man. But when Hammer came out and
Yeah.
Vanilla Ice came out,
Yeah.
like that was,
Remember Vanilla Ice's movie, Cool as Ice?
yeah.
You ever watch that
Drop
movie?
the zero, go with the hero.
Like, what? If you watch it now, especially in the Me Too era, it is the rapiest, most frightened. This guy, if she's on a horse, there's a scene where this girl is a horse, she's horseback riding, and Vanilla Ice decides, I'm going to hop this fence on my motorbike and basically cause her to fall off of this horse. And then later he shows up in her bedroom. Yo, I came to get my diary. Like, she has his diary for some reason. I don't know what's going on.
There was a lot of stuff.
It's
you know,
predatory,
and
bro.
And that's the thing, and especially when you compare now to like things were back then.
Yeah.
It's like, I think Molly Ringwald came out and was like, "Hey, some of the plots for my movies weren't."
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah.
16 Candles,
16
I think,
Candles.
yeah.
No, Breakfast Club.
Yeah, I mean, there was things that happened, like in those movies. Remember, like the guy, like how they say no means no, but then the guy'd be like in the boombox in the driveway, like,
Yeah.
I'm not a stalker, but I will not give up.
Yeah, John Cusack was holding the boombox above his head and say anything.
I told you to leave.
Like, if I did that, I'd be in jail.
Get out of here.
Baby, I love you. You can't do that anymore, bro. You know that. You can't do that.
I
bro.
know.
You
Are
can't
you
be doing
no?
that shit.
Are you married? Are you single? Do you think about the family, or do you? That'd be funny if you're like, yeah, I've been married for 15 years, Darren.
Yeah, you know. Yeah, no, I'm in a relationship.
Oh, you are. Okay.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
It's it's weird because I don't get too much into it, but
Yeah.
I try to keep that stuff private because there's a lot of weird people out there, man.
Yeah.
I used to be a little bit more public about it, but now I don't.
Yeah.
I don't post stuff about it. I don't get into it, because
Yeah,
there are a lot
yeah,
of
yeah.
weird people out
She's
there.
not in the
but-
show business.
No,
That's good.
no.
Yeah.
But
That's true.
it's tricky with this industry. I mean, from the sense that when I work on stuff, I get real tunnel vision. Like I'm like a mad scientist when I go into the studio.
Yeah.
I like editing and I like writing and I like getting into characters and stuff. So it takes up a lot of your, you have a son and you've got a family,
Wife,
right?
yeah,
and
yeah.
so but you're all over. I mean, you're performing every night. But this is what you do. This is your thing.
Yeah, and also when I go out at night, like it kind of gives my wife a chance to like chill, do her thing, and you know what I mean?
Right.
Because sometimes she'll get up early and go do her thing, and then by the time she comes back, I'm like, in front of the computer, and then she's like, okay, what are you? And I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go to the gym now, and then
Right.
But then like there's some days where you're just like, do you have any gigs tonight? Can you like?
Yeah,
go
can you please go do a gig?
Yeah, exactly.
Can you call someone, or they probably got a spot open for you?
Yeah.
Just bump somebody, please.
Go bump somebody.
Can you?
Yeah. Go do a podcast. Go do something.
Yeah, at midnight at Flappers.
Yeah.
How long have you been married?
21 years.
Oh my God,
21
it's amazing,
years. I
dude.
know. I got so lucky. Like today, she made fajitas, and I'm like, I have the
I love
luckiest
that's
woman in
the-
the world. I
She
mean,
made
just-
fajitas.
She made fajitas.
Bro, I got so lucky. She made fajitas.
She did laundry.
funny to me, man.
fajitas.
I love
made
that.
a grocery run. I'm like, oh my god. I'm
Words
lucky.
are so fun.
I
You
know.
find that the word choices. I mean, it makes it's everything when you're
Yeah.
doing a bit.
Yeah.
There's just certain words that are. It's just gold, man.
know.
You say fajitas. That's funny to me, dude.
Fajitas.
That's
are
a joke to
funny.
me already. I'm so lucky, man. She makes me fajitas. That's it. End of thing.
I know.
But you have a style of comedy. You have a certain. I mean, I like what I love about comedy. What I love about it is that everyone has their own voice. I found that recently it feels like, and this happens every now and again.
You've seen it. You've
Yeah.
seen the phases of comedy come and go. After a while, it seems like a lot of people have the same voice.
Yes.
How do it's hard to
Yep.
get you.
And they
You
go
made
through-
your
Yeah, they go through their. Yeah, I made my own voice.
Yeah.
like of what I think is funny, what I
Yeah.
want to do, what I want, and sometimes even that changes. Like tonight, I was a little bit more low key,
right.
mellow, but I know I can turn it on and like bring it up.
But
and,
people know you. I mean,
Yeah.
I saw people
Yeah.
here today filing out, and
Yeah.
they were like, Darren Carter, the party starter. Everybody
Yeah.
knows that.
Yeah.
That says something. Like Dane Cook, I saw him. It was actually amazing. I saw him at the Improv in the show I was doing, and I just watched him work out something for 20 minutes, and I was blown away. I was like,
Yeah.
God, this guy really tells a story, you know? But he went through his thing. You know, he was on top of the world. But that was a whole other era of comedy. You know, you were
Yeah.
there when it was like
Yeah. 2004.
2004.
Yep, 2004.
That's when comedy came back.
Yeah,
I think.
he blew up big. His album sold 94,000
Right.
copies. 94,000 copies.
Remember that he had
I mean,
the side of the
yeah.
building, the HBO building, and
Yeah.
whatever. But
Crazy.
that was when comedy. They always talk about this every 10 years, and it's like comedy's back, and now nobody cares about comedy. Comedy's always doing
it's always
thing.
there. But there are certain people that are big.
that
you
are
know?
big, right?
Like I saw some of the openers for Joe Rogan. Like Joe Rogan's big, and then
Oh,
his
yeah.
openers are big. Like one of the guys, Tony Hinchcliffe,
Yeah.
he pulls out of the Comedy Store, and you would think it was Joe Rogan's car. I mean,
Right.
it's his own. I mean, this guy is doing great. He's doing
Yeah.
a full-on sponsored tour with like Red Bull and like.
He's amazing. His roasts are.
You know.
The first time I met Tony
Yeah.
Hinchcliffe, I thought, oh God, I don't know if I want to do comedy. He didn't mean anything by this comment, but I was getting off stage, and he looked at me. I'd never met him before, and he said, "Did you have fun up there?" I was like, what does that mean? That was all in my head.
Yeah.
Did you have fun up there? He has a certain way of talking.
He does.
So if you don't know him,
Yeah.
and he's admitted, I'm like, you think
Yeah.
this guy's fucking with me?
Yeah.
This guy's getting in my head right now.
No, he does.
Did you have
He's
fun up there?
It's almost like a wrestling character. 'Cause
Yeah.
I think he likes wrestling.
Yeah.
So it's like a
He's psyching you out.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you have fun up there?
Or just like I heard him say something. Once you lock into that,
Right.
like, then you're like, oh, I like this guy. Like,
Yeah.
I heard him say one night. It was funny the way he is. Somebody goes, this is probably a year ago, and this is I think knowing like he had all this big stuff coming up. They go, how do you say it again? They go, hey Tony, how's it going? And he kind of had this smile on his face. He goes, it's good. He goes, oh, I forget exactly what he said, but it was great though. He was just
Right.
like, you know, like it's going so well, but you'll think I'm just bragging
Yeah.
or something like that.
You'll think I'm just bragging. Yeah. He does that show with Brian Redband.
Yeah.
You know that
Yeah, the
kind of
Kill
that gong,
Tony.
Kill Tony.
Yeah.
My buddy
People go up
my
and
buddy
do it.
Robert Thompson goes on there all the time. He's a funny guy. This kid reminds me of.
I think if you went on there, they'd be like, you would kill, and then they'd be like, okay, now what? So do you work during the day? What do you do? They want to know more about your life,
Right.
Kind of like bring comedy out of that. You know?
Yeah.
That's what they always try to do. I guess.
Is that a show? I mean, yeah, I don't know. I always thought about going on that show, but I already went on Brian's. Brian Redband had his own show for a while. They were doing it over at the Ice House.
Oh yeah,
out of
yeah.
that studio.
Yeah.
Had a great time doing that. But I feel good. This is good, man. I'm happy to do this because I'm ready to. I feel it's like
Did you
I'm
go
ready
through-
to come back.
So you say come back? Were you like a little? You said you were going
I
through
was
a little
depressed.
bit depression.
I had to
and-
go. I started going to a therapist,
Mm-hmm.
which I hadn't done for years, and it's the best thing I've ever done. I just knew. You know, you said you could just tell that you said something. You wanted to start working out again and getting in shape, but you could feel that the world.
Yeah.
Because it did the last couple of years. I mean, I feel
Yeah.
like the world has gone crazy.
Yeah, and everyone's so
You
like,
can feel it.
Yeah,
So
certain
you
people feel this way, feel that way, and I'm just like,
You're gonna do. Let me
Yeah.
try to.
yeah, anything. It's almost
For
like
me and-
you could go on Twitter and write "Good morning," and then someone else is gonna be like, "What's so good about it?" And who do you know? And I'm just, I don't like that. It's like,
Right.
even today, like my friend posted some picture of himself he was wearing glasses, and his new pair of glasses. He was out in the woods.
Yeah.
And then there was like whatever, like he goes, to me they look like safety goggles, like he was on a shooting range.
Right.
And so I wrote that like, hey, look like you're on a shooting range, and then he wrote back like, what does that mean? And I was like, oh crap.
Oh no.
I was like, well, because you're outdoors and like you have that circle, because his face, there was like a circle around his
Right.
face, like a scope.
Got it.
And then
What do you mean circle?
I know exactly.
People are ready. Everyone's ready.
I know they are, and I was
Yeah.
just like, why did I even comment?
I
should've
don't.
just-
I don't.
I should have just been like, cool glasses.
I got in a
Usually that's what I do.
I got in a
just,
fight
you
with
know.
the guy today.
I'm not
but-
even trying to fight. I was just trying to.
No,
just-
but he
Yeah.
he's in his head about something else. It
Yes,
has nothing to do with the
yes,
glasses.
yes.
What do you mean my glasses look like
like I'm on a
something else?
shooting
Is, I'll
range.
kill you.
He did.
I'll shoot you.
He looked like he was on a shooting range.
Yeah.
You
I'll
know?
come to a shooting range. I'll show you. Darren Carter. Bro, I was just commenting on your.
Yeah.
No, today I got in a fight with a guy on Twitter, which I haven't done for a while.
Oh no, I'll never do that.
But this was so.
But
This
it sucks.
This
though, yeah.
guy.
You guys go back and forth
A
at
little
you,
bit, but then
at
I
this.
deleted all of it.
Yeah,
and
that's
he's
good,
like,
yeah.
"I'm gonna make an example of you," and I'm just like, "Okay."
Don't do that. Yeah.
But I had to learn not to
because
do
it's all
that.
public.
It's all public.
It's all public fighting. You know. Like,
It's all public, and my podcast, I went back and I re-edited all 15 episodes because I realized.
yeah, more than 15 episodes, don't you?
Well, 17. Maybe there's 17 or something
Oh,
like that.
shit.
But I went back and recut them, every single one of them, and most of them it would go from 90 minutes to like a half hour. I cut it down to a half hour. I got really good at knowing when it's like in comedy. It's like you got to censor yourself, or you know how to self-edit. You know when it's not working.
Yeah.
But what I cut out was all the stuff where I was complaining about not selling my show and talking about the Late Late Show and how blah, 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 blah. All noise. I got rid of it. I had this new attitude. I said, no, we're getting rid of all that shit. Keep the funny.
Yeah.
Leave the rest. Because people are going to find you for the first time, maybe 10 years from now.
Yeah.
Someone that doesn't know you, they're going to hear your podcasts and they're going to go, this guy's an asshole. Because they don't know you. That's their first impression of you. So now I think that way about everything. I'm going to just think with no one knows who I am, and this is how they're being introduced to you. So just,
Interesting.
But try to keep it positive.
So being
You know?
positive, you were going through that dark period.
Very bad.
If someone's going through a dark period right now, what some advice you could say to pull themselves out of it? How do you get out of
Honestly,
that dark
one of the
period?
most simple things is to call a friend. I get so wrapped up in, I can do it myself, and I'm just going to be alone. It's not going to help, man.
Right.
Go for a walk. I saw some of your Instagrams, and you were right. What are you guys doing? Get outside. Go for a walk. That's the simplest thing.
Yep.
Because you move the body, you get fresh air.
Yeah.
It will change your mind. Scientology. No, I'm just kidding.
That's right. It's
I
a very
did it.
special Pocket Party podcast.
You know what? That's for part 2. We'll save that for part 2 because I did Scientology
You did?
for about 5 years.
No way. You really did?
I buried the lead.
Wow.
We're going to save that for part 2
That's right,
because I got
folks.
stories. But no,
Yeah.
I'm saying,
Yeah.
and by the way, let me say this. A lot of the people at the Celebrity Center, amazing people. The people that work there, the same thing we're talking about is what they want for people.
Yeah.
It's just that, you got to write them a check for, $50,000. But my point is, what's $50,000, Darren?
Right.
You're a wealthy man. You should
Yeah.
go over there and get in the sauna for a year. Tell me how you feel.
Yeah.
But yeah, and therapy, man. Don't be a lot of pride. I come from a Catholic family, alcoholic background. A lot of pride. I can tough it through this myself.
Yeah.
You can't, man. I was drinking. I'm not an alcoholic, but when I found when I was drinking, I would get really angry, and I didn't like that, and I didn't like how I was presenting myself. But it's okay. By the way, it's okay. People have moments in their lives where they go through things. The problem with social media is they never forget. They're always like, we're never going to, don't worry about it. Ignore it. You got to ignore it, especially if you're a performer. It's like this. This is my final example. Imagine if you were on stage doing a set and you could suddenly during your set read the thoughts of every single person in the audience.
That'd be awful.
Terrible. That's what doing those live broadcasts was like, because you'd see these comments. You suck. You failed. You're no good. Your eyebrows are weird. What? You get a 5 head. Wait, what?
Yeah.
And then it's a constant storm of negativity, and you need to cut out any person in your life, any of that bad energy. You got to try to cut it out. It's not easy, but that's my advice, honestly. If you're a creative person, just do what you do, man. Like, don't worry about the views and the likes and the retweets and am I going to go viral? Am I going to be a YouTuber? Just create to create. That's the biggest advice I can give. Remember, when we were kids, I had to remember what it was like to call into that college radio show. We didn't have the internet. I made shows in my basement. I used to do Johnny Carson Tonight Show, wear a bald skull cap, and put Barbasol white shaving cream to make Johnny Carson's hair. I still have these videos of me interviewing my little cousins. That wasn't for YouTube because there was no YouTube. That was just for
fun,
us.
For fun, yeah.
So you got to remember that. If you can get back to that.
You're right. I remember like
Right?
my buddy and I, his name was Lewis. I would basically do a podcast back
Yeah.
in like '83, you know, like but it was just him. It was for me. It was like I'd go home and have a tape recorder and I would pretend that I'm doing a radio show
Yeah.
and voices and little scenarios and sketches, and then he would do it too, and then we would trade tapes. And it was fun.
I love it.
Like, let's see what he came up with, and he'll hear what I came up with. And the
Right.
next day we'd meet up and be like, "That was so funny when you did." Because mine
Yeah.
I would try to do stuff like, "Hey, Lewis, I'm in your room now. Nope, I'm over here by the lamp. No, not that lamp."
So he's sitting there listening to it.
yeah, imagining
The tape you gave
Yeah,
him.
and imagining that I'm actually in, like I'm running around. Nope, I'm under the bed. Here I am. Just kidding. And so you really got me with that, Darren. Oh man, it was like
Right?
you were in the room, man.
I did that
Yeah.
to my cousin Bobby. He had a Teddy Ruxpin that was
Yeah.
the talking teddy bear. And the way it worked is you put a cassette. You had to buy the cassette.
Oh, I
with it,
remember
right?
that.
But the thing is, you could put any cassette in there, and the mouth would move.
yeah.
So I would record stuff and scare the shit out of him. Hey, Bobby, let's watch Teddy Rux. Hey, Bobby, it's Teddy. I could see you. I know what you did, Bobby. And he would start crying. He was much younger than me, and he'd run to his mom. What are you guys doing? Teddy was telling me terrible things. But we did the same thing. My buddy Matt and I, Matt Lodi, who lives in Cleveland. He's a great writer. The nickname is Steeler Matt. He's a radio personality. He's written a bunch of books about the Steelers. Guys, it's amazing. It's like I'm so proud of
so
him.
cool.
But we would trade mixtapes, but not the regular kind. We would cut in like little clips of TV show dialogue in between the songs. We try to make our own mixes.
yeah.
So we have all these albums we made for nobody.
That's
for
cool.
us. And that's what I'm trying to say is really remember the pure creation. That's it.
I just remembered that on one of those tapes where I was like, Lewis, it's, and I'd be like, hey, who's that? Hey, who the fuck is this? What's going on? I would do these crazy voices.
Right.
And I would be like, Lewis, I'm over here by your lamp. And I remember this girl, she wanted to hear the new Van Halen album, which I had the bootleg copy of. And I go, oh, I got it. Let me give it to you. And I gave her that tape by accident. So she said that she went home and was getting ready to play like Panama, and all of a sudden it was, hey, Lewis. I'm behind your lamp, and I'm like doing comedy. She said that was so. She goes, I was so embarrassed.
Right.
When I went home,
But she liked it.
yeah, she said she brought her whole family in.
No.
To this day, this girl still goes to my comedy shows. She brings her husband, and they go, whenever I'm in the Fresno Clovis area. By the way, I'll be at Chico's Friday after Thanksgiving and Saturday after Thanksgiving. Did Chico's, but
Depending on when you're listening to this.
yeah.
Hey, I went there. You weren't there. Is that
No.
2 years ago? The guy
Hey,
looked at me like I
Lewis,
was
I'm
an
behind this
asshole. Hey,
lamp.
Lewis.
Yeah, but I remember
funny, dude.
I remember my stomach just dropped because I went home that night, and after I gave I gave her the tape of what I thought was Van Halen.
Right.
And when I hit play to hit, so I could, yeah, and I'm like, oh fuck, I gave her the wrong tape. I gave her that. Oh my, I was so embarrassed.
Oh, no.
I also got in trouble one time for like, I went around, I'm going to read A Day in the Life of Darren. And this is in 9th grade. And I went around and I taped kids and they said horrible, awful
Of
things.
course,
like
yeah.
cursing, all kinds of stuff. And
Kiss
then-
your mother's ass.
Yeah.
Shut up, Bob.
Yeah, that guy, yeah. I mean, just awful
Right,
stuff.
right.
And then I got busted because there was this kid I wasn't supposed to hang out with. And my mom was like, what was that? And yeah, and then she's, like, what's on that tape? What's on that
Right,
tape? And then,
right.
of course, she played it, and I was like, oh. She's like, I'm going to play this for the preacher. I'm going to play this for your grandparents.
preacher.
I'm going to play it for, like, I was so grounded, man. Like,
Now, Darren, I understand that you were. I'll do my preacher. Now, Darren, I understand that you were involved. You were in collusion with these boys. You went out there talking nasty talk. Now, that's not godly, man. Shut the door for a minute, man. You want a little whiskey, man? I'll give you a little nip, man. Listen, let's edit that shit out, man, all right? Tell your mother it was a mistake, okay? I'll take the heat for it, all right? You're a good kid. Open the door again, man. And that's all I'm going to say about this.
I wish it was like that.
Get the hell out of here, Darren, you stupid kid.
Don't ever, I know. That was like,
Dummy.
I remember thinking, like, dude, I busted myself. It
was
was like
so-
I wiretapped myself and, like,
Dude, it's so scary, though, when you get busted like that as a kid.
yeah,
Like, you think your life is over.
I know.
Your life was over at that
Yeah.
point. But then
Yeah.
you know, you're fine. And then now you're doing this.
And now they're probably doing it now. And then now these kids are probably like filming themselves and their moms and or whatever see it. But
yeah, but now they put it on YouTube and
Yes.
they get $1 million contracts.
exactly.
So, you
What
know.
I did, I just got my ass in
That's what I
trouble
mean.
and,
Yeah, I played Fortnite for 6 hours the other day. I made 10 grand.
I
What?
know. I know.
I played Fortnite and I lost. You play this game, Fortnite?
I've played it. Yeah.
I've never won. I haven't won yet.
It's so addicting, I guess. Huh?
It is. It's just I get so angry at these kids, you know. But I go on sometimes. I'm thinking about doing this next year on what is it, Twitch? That's the live streaming.
Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna do this. My channel is gonna be called I Suck at Fortnite. It's gonna be me playing Fortnite but doing voices. So like
there you go.
Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
So because sometimes I'll go on and I'll put on my headphones.
Have you done that yet?
Yeah.
Played video games and done voices?
Yeah.
And do you get a following doing that?
Kids, they're laughing. All right, and I'll be like, all right, kids, everybody look alive. We're going to drop in here on this island now. Don't be stupid now. If somebody finds a scope gun, give it to me because I know how to use it. I know the rest of you idiots don't know how to do shit. And you'll be like, what the hell? Who's this? That's Morgan Freeman now. Let's look alive, people. Looks like Jenkins is in trouble. Somebody help Jenkins, quick. Get him a Band-Aid. I mean, it's a very intense game, dude. These kids are very serious about it. They come right up to you and kill you.
I just saw in England, they said a lot of divorces are happening because of Fortnite.
Because of Fortnite.
Yeah.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
I don't want to. I can't come to dinner, honey, because I'm playing Fortnite. I've got to get to the end and build a fort. That's why it's called Fortnite. You build a big fort out of different materials, wood or steel or concrete, and then you get up high there and you shoot the bloke, and then you win the game. I can't win the game if I'm eating your pudding. I want a divorce. All right, that's fine. More time for me to play Fortnite.
It's the stupidest game, dude.
You can't have any pudding if you don't eat your meat.
If you don't eat your meat, you can't have pudding and then you can't play Fortnite. I like Fortnite. It's fun for me. I could walk off steam.
Do you play like? And also, I heard like some kids are playing like 4 or 5 hours a day.
Oh, no, I can't. It takes, first of all, one game, playing one round of Fortnite is like half hour.
Wow.
You can't.
And they said like you can't hit pause in the game, so people
No.
they have to use the restroom and
You can tell, too, because
Yeah.
you'll walk up to a guy that'll just be standing there.
Mhm.
You're like, I think this guy walked away. And then you just start hitting him with a pickaxe or you shoot him with the gun. And then I feel bad. I'm like, I don't know if I should.
He just took a leak and then
Sorry,
he came
bro.
back
I
and
feel bad. Sometimes people, they have different.
they come down to the final. What's the closest you've made it
All
to
the
be
time.
The last
I'll get
one?
it'll be down to me and one other guy.
Oh wow!
And I always get shot in the head.
And then what happens if you win? Like I made it.
yeah,
Like,
that's it.
And then that's
It'll
it.
be like, you did it.
And that's it.
Yeah, and then you get an extra. You get an extra. You get a sticker or something. You get a badge. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hey, kids, you want to bet? Hey, little Joshy won Fortnite. How about that? Here goes a little sticker for you.
You
eh?
take like a screenshot of or something. Or
I
like,
guess. I feel so dumb.
I know.
I just want to play Mario 3, dude. I put on Super Mario 3, and remember when you could be a little raccoon and
Yeah.
fly around? That's all I need, man. The
I
games
know.
it's too much, dude.
The game I play is online chess. I like to play with my iPad, and
Is
I
that
know
right?
chess. I know it's not even a stupid computer game, right?
That's amazing.
I know.
On your VIC 20, on your Commodore VIC 20.
No, I got the iPad Mini, but it's
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It's the app is chess.com, but it's chess.
I love
and
it.
it's live in real time, and I
Yeah.
like to do the 1 minute games, and so it's like it's like an adrenaline rush. Like you're like trying to make your move so fast, like
But it's against someone else.
yes, live people around
Right.
the world, and like they could talk shit.
I've
if they
done that
want
with
to.
Uno.
Oh.
They have live Uno. Just
Wow.
very weird. Uno is the best, man. It's like, I used to play with my parents.
Yeah, yeah,
Draw 2,
yep.
reverse, back to me, skip you, draw 4, change it to red, Uno, skip you. It's a lot of
And
really
that's-
aggressive.
That's live. Like you can do that live on
Yeah.
your iPad, like
Yeah.
around with strangers, like around the world,
Yeah,
online.
man. Gets intense, man. You can't talk to them. I wish you could have like a little speaker. What the hell was that? You cheat? You're cheating, man. But yeah, Uno and then Contra. Contra was probably my favorite old school game. That was one of the old side scrollers where you just have a gun and you just shoot things. It was like Alien and Rambo.
I miss those games. Like I played Space Invaders the other day with my
Yeah.
son, and it was awesome.
Great game. Galaga was the other one.
I loved
it. Was like
it.
the space
Yeah.
bugs.
Yep.
Just shoot. That's all
go
you
for
got to
it.
do. Fortnite is like you gotta hide in a building. I get scared, man.
And then it starts raining.
Yeah, and then you
And
can hear
they
people
get
walking
The
around.
circle gets. Oh
You
my-
hear a guy out there like, but is he on the left or right side? Is he outside the door? I got no idea.
think we're gonna wrap
They're
up.
kicking us out
Kicking
right
us
now, man.
out.
Yeah.
How's your night going? Pretty awesome.
After
How's your-
hours at Flappers.
How's your energy level?
Yeah, that's right.
Flappers After Dark.
Flappers After Dark.
How's your? Let me ask you. This is Can I say your name? Of course. This is Marcella. Sometimes she manages here.
Hi, guys.
Yay! Our first female voice ever
This
heard
is
of the Pocket
amazing.
Party
Is that
podcast.
right?
I think so.
Holy
What
cow,
a
I just made
misogynist
history.
broadcast. Thank you for bringing some class to
Yeah,
this show.
of course. Somebody's got to do the deed.
I mean, especially in this modern era, we
So
don't
it is
have any
late
women on the
night
program.
after dark. So how long have you been here today? How many hours do you think?
It seems like forever, maybe 20. I don't know. It's a slave
my
driver.
God.
Is what happens. Yeah, it's long.
You're running on fumes. Huh? Do you drink coffee?
I do. I'm actually going to spend the night and just wake up in the morning and keep it going. Like, why not?
Oh, cool. It's
Have you
like a party
Have
over
you
here.
ever spent the night at Flappers?
I think I'd be scared too. No.
No, because
Is
even
it
during
is it
this
haunted?
podcast, no, but there's noises that go off. in
Yeah,
there.
what's
Like
going
a-
on up there?
What is it? The movie theater upstairs?
I think it's Ghost.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Oh,
pretty
just
much.
right,
This
just
used
right
to be
to
a
it. You just said
macaroni
it.
bar and grill.
Wow.
Ghost of the Macaroni Bar and Grill.
Oh, is that right?
Oh, can I hear you do a little voice say, you're listening to the Pocket Party podcast? Hold on. I've never, that'd be cool if you did this.
Yeah.
You're listening to the Pocket Party podcast.
That's great.
That was really
I'm gonna
good.
learn how to edit that.
That was
and then
really
use
good.
That.
Yeah, once you learn how to extract
Yes.
that, it's
Extract
going to be
that.
really good.
Yeah, do that one more time. You're listening to the Pocket Party. Oh, here's Morgan Freeman. Can you please tell her, Morgan?
Yeah. You're listening to the Pocket Party podcast.
You're listening to the Pocket Party podcast.
That's what I'm talking about. See, that sounded good. That was real good. Morgan Freeman liked that.
Where's that party starting?
In my pants.
No, your pocket. I'm like trying to point.
If you could
Oh
see
my
the
gosh.
visual,
I know. I'm like,
Darren was pointing at his. It was almost his
I was
crotch.
trying to point at his
and
pocket.
I mean, in your pants was really the only way
That's
to go.
right, folks.
I was going to say, in your pocket. Say pocket.
In your what?
Oh, wow.
You're going to cut all that out.
I know.
That's why this is for men only. 'cause a
I'm so
man would
sorry.
probably
No.
understand
I
that.
know, I know.
It's the pocket.
I know, because women have pockets everywhere.
Yeah,
Like,
pocket party. It's you put the phone in your pocket. It's a party.
It's a pocket.
Well,
I
that's
know. You
why.
are pocketless. What do you
Yeah.
do? Where do you keep your stuff when you're out and about?
My secret.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
And the little pockets. Oh.
I'm learning a lot.
That's why
This is
women have to
amazing.
carry purses and stuff, huh?
Yeah. Well, you got like a giant
I
bag
know.
with
I
all
got
your
the whole
equipment.
studio right there. Wow.
So you do your own show, the pantsless party podcast, I guess,
The pantsless party.
or no pocket pockets party in the pants.
Yeah.
That's a whole different show.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome back to Party in the Pants with Darren Carter.
Explicit.
You know what's going to happen. What are we talking about today, Darren?
This one I'll do solo.
Yeah, you will. Everybody clear the room.
Oh, man.
I don't know what's happening.
All right.
That's
well,
the end
listen,
of the show.
I want to, Marcella, we'll leave in a little bit. Thank you so much. I'll be out of here. Thank you, guys. Thank you. That was
Thank you.
awesome. Thank you.
Ooh.
I want to ask you this before we go. Do you have any words of wisdom for our younger listeners or people going through a dark time or
Yeah.
something? Just anything you've learned in life you want to. Yes. What do you got?
Don't be hard on yourself. We have a tendency to be very hard on ourselves, particularly as creative people. Look, when you're making stuff, it's not going to be perfect on the first or second or third try. Do your thing, stay focused, but just remember that everything else is noise, And it's really hard to tune out the noise, especially with social media, the world that we live in now. There's a lot of noise, man. But don't worry about it. Just create to create. That's the biggest thing I can tell you. Get back to just making things to make them. Don't worry about what people are going to think about it. Don't worry about that. Just do what you want to do, and I guarantee you'll be much happier. You'll be broke, but you'll be much happier. No. Also, don't spend your own money on your TV pilot. That's really what I came here to say, Darren. Don't take like $70,000 for argument's sake of your own money,
Yeah.
and put it in a pilot. Don't do that. You can, but don't do that,
Don't.
man. Just get someone else to give you the money. You know what I mean? By the way, on a positive note, we raised, the fans came out in droves, and we did a crowdfunding for my pilot. We were supposed to raise $25,000. We ended up raising $51,000. And I only say that because I really thought we were only going to raise like $1,000.
Wow.
And all of these people had heard my stories doing these live broadcasts about depression and struggling in the business, and it actually had the opposite effect. It didn't make them leave. It made them stay because they saw someone that was more human and more open.
Okay, you need to be a regular on my podcast and
Yes.
not go to therapy and just get depressed, and that way I can build my following. Josh,
So here's what I'm going to do.
how bad was it this week?
Here's what I'm going to do. Yeah, I'm going to go get depressed.
Yes.
I'm going to go on a bender for like a week.
Yes. Do it for the podcast.
Then I'll do
for the
therapy and then
pocket party.
come back.
Oh.
And I'll be like, hey, I'm okay. I'm all right. That was Rick.
You could do an alternating week. So you just a shit week where you come on and do my
Shapiro.
podcast.
I was doing my Rick Shapiro.
Oh, Rick Shapiro.
Hey, Josh. Hey, what time? You fucking okay?
I love Rick Shapiro.
No. I want
you
you to
talk to Rick.
I do, and I want you to stay healthy and keep your healthy
I am.
mind and do what you're doing and
I'm here.
physically, keep, eating right, exercising, and you know what I mean.
I do, man.
Enjoying the sunshine.
Getting out more. I'm gonna get back on stage.
Your big Halloween's coming up.
Halloween.
Your favorite Halloween.
I just started building all the props. I have to pre-build and get everything ready. I got to fix all the little gears.
Yeah.
And when I take them out of the box, I'm like, welcome back, Pinhead. Hello, zombie friend. Hello,
See?
talking tree.
Hello, Josh. Happy to be back.
And then I drink and talk to all my friends, Darren. I'm just kidding, man.
I know.
It's great to see you, man.
Thank you very
Thanks
much,
for having me
man.
on the
Thanks
show.
for being on the show, man. I really appreciate it. And where can people find you?
Just go to thejrtshow.com. THEJRTshow.com.
That's right.
That's
man.
it.
You will be back. I'd love to have you back.
I'll come back, brother.
It'd be great, man.
I'd love
Thank
to
you
come
so
back.
much. Cool. Pocket Party Podcast.
Great, dude. What was it, like 6 hours?
Yeah, that was great. Hey, Rodney, I'll see you later. The guy from Cleveland, was his name Rodney?
Was that the guy?
What's the guy's name that you were in the
Oh,
bus
Darnell.
with? Darnell. See you, Darnell.
Yeah, sorry, man. I didn't know what you was talking about. Take care, man. I was like, Rodney, peace.
Woo! We did it, man, all the way through. Isn't that guy quick? Gosh, so many good stories, so many good voices. Like, when I'm sitting there in front of him, I'm like, this voice is coming out of his face. This is amazing. This guy's a true talent. And we'll have him back. You guys, thank you for listening, and I hope you gave it 5 stars in a review. And if not, can you go do it now, please? I want to give you a shout-out on next week's episode. I really, really appreciate you guys, what you're doing. And I'll tell you like my boxing coach said, all right now, don't hurt nobody. All right now, don't hurt nobody. And then when I leave, be careful. Have a great week. Don't hurt nobody. And be careful.
Everybody listen to Darren Carter. We all know he's the party starter. So if you want to listen to a podcast for free, then listen to the Pocket Party.